to ask you about a deal, though, that Graham Bailey and a few other journalists today spoke about Arsenal preparing to rival Chelsea in the race for Michael Olise's signature. What do you make of that? I mean, I think he's a very talented guy. Chelsea are linked to him. Would that be enough to bolster your front line for this title charge?
Nope. We need a goal scorer. Listen, I like him. I think he's a top player in the making. And I think that the fee is pretty cheap. The wages will be cheap in comparison to other players in them positions. But listen, I wouldn't say I'm not going to want him at Arsenal. I'd take him at Arsenal. I think he's a good player. Listen, he's miles clear of Fabio Vieira, for example. Yeah, I think he's better than Reece Nelson. Yeah, but I just, no, for me, Terry, no. Yeah, if he wants to go City, he can go City. If he wants to go Chelsea, go Chelsea. I think, to be honest, out of the two, if I'm him and I had a choice of them two, I'm going City. He could be the Mahrez replacement. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, you never know what's going to happen. Listen, West Ham could come in and put money on the table and he could go West Ham. Like you said earlier, these players will agree terms with any club. It's then who puts the money on the table. And they might not want to go to Chelsea. They might want Arsenal or West Ham, or Man City. But Arsenal or Man City don't put the money on the table. Now it's, oh, well, shit, I'm going Chelsea then. Yeah, of course they'll try the club, even though it weren't their first choice. It's the same when a club wants to go and buy a player and the player goes, no, I'm going somewhere else. Now you go for your second choice. Like, you're not going to say, well, I'm not going to go. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird one. Listen, he's a good player. He doesn't score many goals. Like, he's very creative. Yeah, but he plays off the right. Yeah, and I know he's played about 1 billion positions, mostly off the right. We ain't dropping Saka. Saka never gets dropped, even for England. He'll play most 90 minutes. So I think that's why we're not in for a right winger or a right mid or whatever. I think that the fact that we've signed Reece Nelson up to a new deal, it's going to work out cheaper, paying him 5 million quid in his bank and 100 grand a week, than it is to go and buy Olise for 35 plus wages. So I don't see us buying another attacking wide player. Jesus can play there. Martinelli's played there before. Trossard can play there. Odegaard can float out there. I don't see us buying another right winger. He's a good player. Yeah, but I don't think even if we signed him, it's enough for us to push on goals-wise because he don't score enough goals. I know he creates a few, but we need an out-and-out banger.
I feel like, I think Chelsea or City will get him if all three clubs are in, because again, he knows, like, Chelsea. Well, I've seen reports today actually that City won't be selling Bernardo Silva now. There's first time I've really seen a concrete report say they say he's untouchable is what the report said. So if Bernardo Silva stays, then you look at Olise and you go, well, you're gonna you're playing back up. You look at Chelsea; they've got Madueke. So again, it depends on who they see as.
I think he would get more game time at Chelsea.
Yeah, I think he would. I think Chelsea they would. But what's really interesting is like another report as well today about Chelsea are now close to agreeing personal terms with Mohamed Kudus. Now, I've seen him play left, central, and on the right. I've read 3 different scouting reports. 2 have said that he prefers the wing. 1 said that he prefers the 10 role. So for me, it's like, you know, when you start getting all these different reports. So again, but do I see Chelsea signing both?
The Tactico accounts on Twitter tell us his best positions now.
Mate, but those guys told those
because everyone watches the Dutch league, of course.
Bro, right? But these same accounts, this is why I can't take them seriously. They told me 110% that Donny was going to be starting over Bruno by now. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to trust them. Do you know what I'm saying? These, by the way, these were the same people.
And even the Dutch don't watch it.
These Tacticos, by the way, were the same people that said Frank Kessie was a world beater. About to go back to. He ain't that good. Do you know what I mean? He ain't that good. He's good, but he ain't that good. That's why Barcelona let him go.
He's played for 2 of the biggest clubs on the planet, though, isn't it?
It's crazy, mate.
Yeah, look, 3 of the biggest clubs on the planet.
He's good. It looks like he might be getting Juve. He's a good footballer. But if Barca let you go within 1 year, that speaks volumes. It speaks volumes about where you're at. But yeah, look, I think where Mohamed Kudus goes is going to be really intriguing because there's a lot of talk now that the deal for him going Chelsea for around 40 million is nearly done with personal terms agreed and the player kind of looking like he wants to go there. And Chelsea might get both. But I almost feel like, again, Arsenal were in for Kudus. And listen, that's a guy you should be signing because I think that guy, he's not prolific now, as in he isn't a Haaland or a Kane. but I think there is goals in that kid, and I think he is dynamite. And I actually think he is good enough, technically, Mohamed Kudus, to oust any of your front three at some point. I think he's good enough to be one of your lead attackers. I think he's that talented. I like Olise. Kudus is better, but
Is
I kind of like
Martinelli or Saka?
I think he's good enough to.
No, but is he better than Martinelli or Saka? Because that should be the standard. Are you better than Saka? Are you better than Martinelli?
I think he's better than Martinelli. I think he's better. I think he's better than Odegaard, Mohamed Kudus. I think he's not Odegaard. Sorry, Martinelli. I think he's better than him. I watched him last year. I watched a few Dutch games. Good. I watched this kid in the Champions League, and he was fire. I watched him at the World Cup, and he was amazing. You put him in that Arsenal team. Mohamed Kudus is an absolute. He's even just a baller.
You get the commission off this out.
Sorry,
you get the commission off this out.
Mate. He's out of this world. He's out of this world, Mohamed Kudus.
He's not better than Martinelli, mate. And listen, I've not seen enough of him. I've only seen what you've seen. Bit of Champions League, World Cup. That's it. I don't watch Dutch football. I'm not going to sit and pretend I do. But he ain't better than Martinelli. Yeah, Martinelli is so good. It is unbelievable. And I think Martinelli, when people talk about high ceilings, I think Martinelli, when he peaks, is going to be our best player. I think currently Saka is our best player. He's more consistent with it. But I think that when I watch Martinelli, he's more dynamic. He's more direct. He's got more to his finishing, more to his game than Saka has. Saka's very, very good at what he does. Yeah, but I don't think he does what Martinelli could be great at. Yeah, but listen, we got both of them, and they're both bagging. They're both playing great, so that's cool. I don't think either of them get dislodged out the team to Kudus. And I think Trossard, yeah, well, he can play across anywhere in the front line, and I think he's sick. Yeah, technically he's pretty flawless. Yeah, scores goals, creates goals. Jesus, he's always a problem. How's he get in? How does this lad get in the team? Yeah, because I don't think Jesus is getting dropped anytime soon. If he's fit, he's playing most games. Martinelli, if he's fit, he's playing most games. You know what? Saka's playing most games.
But that's exactly what you want, though, in my opinion, Lee. And this is exactly what you should want at your football club. So I'm not that.
But I just don't see it, Tel.
Yeah, I'll explain. So for me, when I look at Kudus, I don't think it matters whether people think he's better than Saka and Martinelli or worse than them. I believe whether he's there now or in the future, I think he's got the talent to match them or surpass them. And when I say that, it's because no one ever knows the trajectory of young players. I think he's in and around the ballpark with them. And what you want is someone like him coming in who believes in himself, who thinks, listen, I know how great Martinelli, and by the way, people always take me thinking he's better means he's bad. I think Martinelli and Saka are both fantastic. Having someone join that who's equally as fantastic is only good for your team because, you know, the only thing that can cut a diamond is another diamond, right? So you need that quality in there to sharpen them up and make them the best versions of themselves. And I think if you add him, rather than having, look, Reece Nelson can't push them. Reece Nelson's good. He's never going to be at Martinelli and Saka's level.
No,
so you need, for me, you need to be adding people into the team that can do that. And I think Mohamed Kudus does. So it's a bit like I said about Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice within 2 to 3 years can be your captain because I think he's that good a leader. And all I'm talking about is
the Odegaard fans are in bits as you say that.
Yeah, but I mean, I just again, it just doesn't matter to me. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of.
I don't think the wing positions. Listen, he's better than Fabio Vieira, and so are you. Yeah, so on that basis, he would get in our squad if we bin Vieira, but we ain't been in Vieira. So I don't think we're going to get him in that position. Is he better than Reece? Yes, he is, but we just gave Reece £100,000 a week and £5 million cash in his bank. He's not dislodging Saka. He ain't getting Trossard's spot. Yeah, he ain't getting Jesus' spot, and he ain't getting Martinelli's. I don't think we're signing him. Yeah, if we're signing him, cool. Yeah, cool, great. It's squad depth. I understand what you're saying, but I just don't see, and I don't think we necessarily. I do think we need a winger to cover for Saka and help Saka out. And Reece ain't that guy. Listen, Reece Nelson is one of the very few footballers at this football club that can cross a ball consistently well. Right? But we've just given him a new contract. Are we going to go and bust out 30 mil on this guy? 40 mil on this guy? I don't see it, mate. I just don't see it.